What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another EU4 time-lapse. I'm going to try to keep this intro short, but I do want to let you all know that going forward, we're probably only going to be doing 2 to 3 videos a week. I'm starting a new job soon, and trying to keep up the 4 videos a week is just proving to be way too much. That's why there's only 2 videos coming out this week. I'm going to try to do 3 most weeks, but there might be weeks where I'm only able to put out 2 of these. Today's video comes as a suggestion from Samos Mapper. Idea for another group of countries to buff: the 5 starting merchant republics: Venice, Genoa, Ragusa, Lubeck, Novgorod. Now, I really like this idea. I love buffing more than one country. So all we've done with these countries is giving them 32 tech. Nothing else has changed, except they all have 1821 technology in 1444. And with that, let's run this time lapse and see what happens. Early on as this gets started, a couple things to look at is probably going to be Novgorod and Venice, given that they're sort of the largest of the merchant republics at the beginning. Not seeing a lot going on in the first 15 years as we get started, but we'll see if that changes. Oh, there it is. Novgorod just ate Muscovy. So that is already something that has changed, and it appears that Venice is expanding into Germany. That's an interesting route of expansion. Oh my goodness, the Ottomans are already gone. Venice has already colonized the Ottomans. They went straight for the city over the world's desire. That was fast. In the rest of the world, nothing sort of out of the surprising going on. Ming is doing Ming things. North America is doing North America things. Genoa is conquering the Caucasus. England is conquering Ireland, so, sort of what we would expect to see in a normal EU4 run. The Mamluks have also already fallen. Buffing Venice broke the Middle East, is what I'm seeing here. Is that Lubeck instead of Denmark? Okay, alright Lubeck, you're taking this buff seriously, let's go. I like to see that. So far we are seeing rapid expansion from Genoa, Novgorod, Lubeck, and Venice. Ragusa is the one that we are not seeing much expansion from. Sometimes the OPMs have trouble when you buff them because of economic, when their troops become more expensive, they can only hold less of them, and sometimes they don't always expand. I am really liking the 2 Sicilies. So Naples has managed to unite the two, or to form the 2 Sicilies. That is not a tag that we see all the time. Huge fan of that. Novgorod has decided to become the villain that we all love to hate and has formed Russia. It's one of those things that you expected it to happen. You knew it was going to happen because they're going to knock out Muscovy. But you just wanted to see a big Novgorod. We don't want to see Russia with 32 tech, but not much that we could do about that. Venice has started to take out the 2 Sicilies. Unfortunate. Pretty soon they're just going to be Sicily and Tunisia, but I guess, is that kind of 2 Sicilies? Not really at all, but we'll work with it. Ming is gone. I want a time-lapse where Ming survives. It doesn't happen anymore. They fall in every single time-lapse. Portugal and Spain are sort of the main colonizers right now, although England is starting to take a little bit of the Mexico region. Surprisingly, England completely ignored the northeast United States and went straight for Mexico. Songhai is the dominant power in Western Africa, and Ethiopia is uniting the Horn of Africa. Oman is doing really good down there in Arabia. That's pretty cool to see. The Genoese Tartary is a force, just an absolute force. And Shun is actually coming really close to uniting China. That's actually pretty cool. I hope that they keep pushing at that. There's a country, it might be Bulgaria, but it also might be that, like, Zapomodia. We'll take a look at it at the end, but there's a country in the Balkans region there. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but it appears to be doing stuff. Lubeck at this point is just Denmark and England. I don't know if I've ever seen the AI pull, like, a really successful naval invasion like that on England. England always is sitting there at the end. Venice is just going for the Roman Empire at this point, and England is almost completely destroyed. That might lead to an interesting New World game. We've got Frisian Canada. So Frisia is actually a colonial power in this game. And then that purple, I believe, is a confederation of native tribes. And then we've got Castile and Louisiana. This is interesting. Cuba has formed. Genoa, I love the fact that it's now Genoese Central Asia, and they just use that tiny little bit of area that they have over there in the Crimean region and just left Europe. Just absolutely, we're like, we're out. Peace. We're done. The country that had unified China, that I can't remember the name of it, the Sun was Su? I can't remember. They have collapsed. The AI has so much trouble uniting China. It is just, it's crazy. Mawa is doing really well in India. I love that red, so if they can keep that up, that would be awesome. Tunisia has reformed. It appears that they have kicked the two Sicilies back into just the one Sicily. I love that Russia is just Russia and Lithuania. Lubeck has managed to officially take all of England and Ireland, and that is the win. I mean, that's amazing. Venice expected Venice to do what they're doing, and Lubeck's actually pushing back Russia right now. Is the Genoese Tartary starting to push into the Balkans? Be interesting to see if they push Russia also, because Lubeck definitely just took some territory from them. See if maybe they're weak, but they are now. Russia is also. There's a little bit more. Novgorod has basically lost their Novgorod holdings. They are just Russia, and they are fleeing the monsters that are the merchant republics in Europe and just pushing into Asia, pushing into China. But they're going to hit a Bengal that's strong. That Bengal holding half of India and most of Southeast China, Southeast Asia, my apologies there. And Venice, really, they were making some plays on the Roman Empire. Genoa finally just decided to accept that they are not in Europe anymore, and they have actually managed to take the Persia-Iranian region. That is something, and that is a time lapse. Europe is almost completely unrecognizable with a dominant Lubeck, Venice going for the Roman Empire, Zaporizhzhia, that's that gray country that I thought might be Bulgaria, but it was not. And then France, I actually did not notice that France imploded on itself. We've got Nevers and Gascony and Brittany and Utrecht all controlling territory in France. So I totally missed that. Castile is the only survivor of the original colonizers. Even Aragon is gone, and they weren't able to take the territory to force Spain, so it's just Castile. That is a weird Europe. Africa's interesting because there's 4 powerhouses: Songhai, Congo, Zimbabwe, and Ethiopia. Although it appears like Zimbabwe would have run away with it because they are starting to take that territory from Ethiopia, which probably would have given them the power over the rest of them. But I don't know if that was going to matter anything with Venice starting to move south. Frisia went crazy on the colonial game. We've got New Friesland, Frisian Canada, and Frisian Colombia. I don't think this belongs here. Let's play a game. It's called Find Mongolia. It's there. Did you find it? It's right here. It's interesting that Japan didn't form. This seems like it's been having a lot lately. And so seeing it ruled by the different daimyo still is really an interesting run. Religiously, Europe is very divided. We've got quite a bit of Protestant, pushed largely by Lubeck, and yet Catholicism is quite powerful also because of Genoa and Venice, resulting in nearly the elimination of Islam because Genoa pushed so much into the steppe region, and then Venice took the Mamluks and the Ottomans. They were able to nearly wipe out Islam. Culturally, my favorite part about this map mode is just that giant Novgorodian. You can put that Russian mask over them, but that is still the Novgorod that we know to love, that get wiped out at the beginning of every single game. They're still there. Of our buffed merchant republics, only one of them flipped back to a monarchy, and that was Novgorod, forming Russia and being ruled by of Gothia. That is a terrifying dynasty name. Developmentally, Europe is stacked. They are absolutely, and it appears that they've brought a lot of that development with them around, especially Venice. Every bit of area Venice owns appears to be highly developed. Genoa also, but they do have that steppe region that's a little underdeveloped, but it does appear like the trade companies, as they expanded, they brought a lot of that development with them and really, well, civilized the rest of the world, as it should be. And finally, our great powers of the world. In first place, we've got Venice with 4,500 development, Russia with 3,500, Lubeck with 3,515, only behind Russia by 80 development, Castile with 3,427, Genoa with 2,473. Fascinating to me that Genoa could not beat Castile. That is crazy. Bengal with 2399, Malwa with 1886, and Chile with 1193. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. These time lapses are always a load of fun. So do make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share these videos. It really does help the channel and helps me to produce more content for all of you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Wreath out.